Yetta, do you know what's in common with most of our closest friends?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do. Do you want to know?
Yeah, no, I know, but maybe our listeners would like to know.
They pretty much all walk really intimately along life's journey with Jesus.
Cool.
So they are as committed, or many of them are more committed than I say we even are, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a really neat commonality that draws us together.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
And on this episode, we're pretty thrilled that for over 30 years, we've been able to come alongside you, really to come alongside you to build your finances, build your faith, build your fun, and really 40 years or 30 years. We've been doing this for, we've been doing life for 40 years. And over 30 years of walking with Jesus at this point.
Took the first 10 to figure it out.
Oh, we were such a mess.
We're still figuring it out.
Oh my goodness, right? And so really over 30 years of just being able to help strengthen and heal even inside relationships so that we flourish greater. And today, the thought is that we're going to explore that when we come into community, we actually get to go deeper in our relationship with God. Without that community, it's more difficult to have the unity even with our Creator.
Yeah, going alone is a losing formula, right?
Losing.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Jesus. Jesus was the Son of God. Well, I guess he still is the Son of God. Let me correct my language there. And when he came to earth, once he left his family, what did he do?
Hung out with some people.
Gathered 12 people to walk with. That was his community. They were his safe place. Right. He mentored them, taught them, but also really wanted them to be with him. He loved spending time with them.
Right. And one of the amazing things I have found that happens when you do life with people that are like-minded, right? And in our case, those that are close to Jesus. So we have a like-mindedness, a foundational core belief system. When I get off track, they bring me back into unity. They bring me back into intimacy, whereas I may flounder and get lost. And going alone often is the concept I've said for many, many years now. Go solo and you go so low because there's nobody to help you come back onto track when you lose track.
So they're kind of like your compass needle. When you reach out to your friends when you're struggling, they kind of point you back in the direction of God because of their faith.
Right. I remember one time I had just come back from a spiritual retreat. I was part of the leadership team and I had been speaking that weekend and it was fabulous. And then I woke up the next morning and I hit bottom. I have no idea why I got off track so much, but I was a mess. And my habit, this is about 6 years ago, my habit at that point was to hide, right? And maybe you're like that too. Like there was a time in the past where things got really difficult or I felt far from God or I felt isolated, then I would just isolate myself some more, like with intention.
Yeah,
I'd separate myself.
Cloister yourself in the house and separate from your friends because you didn't want to talk to anybody.
Nobody. And you could go to work and I could maybe keep a composure so that he could leave off. And I just decided I'd cancel the appointments I'd had that day. I don't think anything that was urgent. I didn't have any client-facing appointments. There was nothing causing me to step into the better version of myself. So I got to live in my little pity party for a period of time. And a couple of my friends, one that was visiting from the States and one that lived here, who had been at the retreat. We'd been serving together and actually shared a room because we were known as the early crowd. We'd get up at 5. So they put us in a separate building far away from everybody else so that we wouldn't create havoc for the others. And I just ignored any text messages I got. I didn't look at my email. I didn't listen to my phone. So I figured I was safe and sound to stay in my horrible state until my 2 community friends showed up at my door.
Why did they show up at your door, Yada? Because I think they tried to reach out to you.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't answer my phone. I didn't answer their messages. I didn't answer their email. I was telling truth.
Yeah, well, you forgot that part.
No, I said it.
Did you say that to me? Maybe I just went somewhere else.
Maybe you did.
That happens to me.
So that's what they had done that morning. And because I didn't reply, because I know my responsiveness and my way of being, they showed up and they sat and prayed with me. They pulled me back into community, not only with them, but pulled me back into union with God.
They came into the cave you had hidden in and came in to visit you and pulled you back out.
Right there. Like
right
if you're watching this on YouTube, the spot where they sat with me was right there. And then eventually we went out in the sunshine and we got some pictures that day and we enjoyed the beauty of God's creation. But it took community to pull me back into a decent state.
And speaking of community, like Jesus spoke on the mount, right, on the mountain, to thousands of people. That was kind of the community. Now, he did send some away. Like he said some tough things from time to time to sort people, to see who was truly in his community. And if you're thinking, hey, I'd like maybe a new community, somewhere where I can get some growth, I invite you to check out the 31 Life Step Journey at doubledecker.life. 31 life steps that you'll do in a community. There are, as a Facebook group. And so as you walk through the steps in that towards your life exponential, there'll be a community cheering you on when you post in there the things that it asks you to do.
Right. And kind of neat with that particular I'm going to call it journey because it is 31 life step journey. So I guess I could call it a journey is what it is some little videos that we put together and people say they're funny and they make them laugh and sometimes feel sad for us because we're kind of embarrassing ourselves and yet in a good way. And what's great about that is often we can learn more when we're laughing and when we're lighthearted and inside the community.
And I'm going to be a little bit honest here. With COVID, we've kind of separated ourselves from our church community, other than a little bit of online. We haven't been attending regularly, and it's something I'm really missing. And it's been, like we wouldn't go, first of all, during COVID, and then we wouldn't go because we had a trip coming up, or we wouldn't go because we just came back from a trip.
Or we were seeing elderly
people. We didn't want a chance getting infected or spreading it if we had it.
Yeah, and even with our clients, we work with a lot of vulnerable clients, and we wanted to keep them safe. And a way of doing that was not exposing ourselves greater than we needed to.
So now that we've been away a long time, it's a challenge to reconnect with community. And maybe you're struggling with the same thing, connecting with a community. It's so important. We find that we can't do life on our own. And even Jesus decided he wouldn't do life on his own.
Yeah. And bottom line is, if you're going it alone, you're going to be kind of lonely. Like going it alone is not what we were designed for. We were designed to live life in community. It may not be a huge community, but we were designed to live life in community.
Yeah, and I always say, it's quote unquote, I don't even know who said it originally, but if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And we're honored to be your advocates on this journey of building wealth through real estate and a life exponential.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward.